Okay, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications every good time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of The Scary of 61st. This one just arrived to Shudder yesterday on March 3rd. Now the movie, it was released on 2021, but it's hitting Shudder today. So just in case that if you search for it and appears as a 2021 movie, well, now you know why. Because it was first released on a film festival and now it's being released on Shudder. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them just to see if this was worth it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review because I like to give you guys the options. So, giving a little talk disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. The Scary of 61st is an American horror thriller that is directed by Dasha Nekrasova, and she also appears on the film. Now, like I said, the film was released on a film festival, specifically the 71 Berlin International Film Festival. And then it was announced that Shudder will be the one that was going to be bringing it to the US. Dasha Nekrasova, she's a Belarusian American actress, and this is her debut as a director. Now, the official plot for this one is that two roommates' lives are upended after finding out that their new Manhattan apartment harbors a dark secret. The film basically follows the story of Noel and Addie, who are just trying to move into this upper state apartment in New York. Now, they found this apartment that basically has a piano and a lot of stuff from the person that used to live before, and looks really dirty, and it will look good without all the stuff. So it's kind of a big deal, and Addie even questions if they can afford it. But Noel kind of says yes. But the thing that I noticed from the very first start, it's how everyone was so rude to Addie. Like, at some point, you're asking yourself, if this is made on purpose, does this have a specific reason? Because the realtor is really rude to Addie, because she's like, so when they are coming, he's like, what? And she's like, the cleaners, this looks really dirty. And he's like, can you pick up a broom? And it's like, hon, I wouldn't want to clean that either. It's a mess. Even found like rotten food and rats. So it's a mess. So basically, they decide to move in. Now, Addie has a boyfriend named Greg, and Addie is waiting for her bed to come. So the first night, she's basically going to spend it sleeping on an air mattress on the floor. And Noelle has her bed. So when they are kind of celebrating the fact that they had this new apartment, Addie is asking Noelle for her to let her sleep with her on the bed. The reality is that there's nothing wrong with sharing a bed with your friend, and in this case roommate, but I wouldn't call them friends. Something that I saw on the spot is that the relationship between them is really weird, and it looks more as collegey, or just some girls that meet up rather than actual friends. Because like I said, the interaction between them, everyone is so rude to Addie, like it's even annoying. So Noel says no, and he's pretty rude about it and kind of gets mad. So we have the first night, and we have Noel on her bed, and we have Addie. Now Addie is having a nightmare. You don't even, no one has to tell you to know that she's having a nightmare, but the way that she's moving, because usually when they portray nightmares on movies, what they will do is they're going to put the person like moving from side to side on the bed, right? But in this case, they have this mirror on the ceiling. So the camera is to the ceiling, so we have her reflection on the air mattress. And the body language that she's doing is she's having sex, but like a really rough way, and she's having, like, we could say, a nightmare of her having sex. It even remind me a little bit of this scene on Scary Movie 2 when one of the girls is on her bedroom and the ghost, it's kind of having sex with her. I don't know if you have seen the movie and you know what I'm talking about. If I find the scene, I'm going to be putting it here, if not a picture for reference. But the thing is, that remind me a little bit of that. Now, the movie looks really old. Like, from the way it was filmed, it remind me a little bit of Suspiria from the colors, a little bit, just a little bit. But the way that it was like filmed and the angles and also like the grain of the camera, it looks like an old movie, and of course it was made on purpose because the movie we could call it like artistic and elevated horror because it's that's what it is at the end of the day. So this is not a movie for everyone. That's something that I want to say. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it feels way longer than that. I was 30 minutes into the movie and I felt like it has been even longer. So this is not a movie that is going to be for everyone. The movie has 55 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now moving on. After that night, the behavior of Addie starts to change, and also Noelle wants to move out. Like, you just move in, and she's like talking about moving out. Now we have the introduction of Addie's boyfriend Greg, who is an ass. He's not a good boyfriend at all, the reality. So at some point we have Addie that is staying with Greg on her house, and he's like, oh, so you're going to stay? Well, I have to get up for work early. So he's once again being rude. Like, you don't treat your girlfriend like that. What type of person are you? So things get weird. But gets even weirder when a girl appears on the apartment and she says first that she's there to sign some papers, but then she confessed to Noelle because at this point Addie is not on the apartment, it's just Noelle. And she sees a mattress that has some spots that we could say that they are old blood, but they tried to like wash it, but they didn't come off. So she kind of gets sick. And she's like, well, I'll lie to you. The reason why I'm here is because I have to warn you that this apartment used to belong to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, in case that you don't know who it is, Jeffrey Epstein was a man that was accused of human trafficking and prostitution and rape of minors. He even had an island that is actually close to where I live, Puerto Rico. That was creepy as hell when I found out. And he's dead, by the way. He committed suicide on jail, but a huge conspiracy theory says that he was actually killed. But the thing is that he used to do really bad stuff and used to be involved with high members on society, royals, actresses, you name it. People with power and money. So they even have a documentary on Netflix. I'm not going into details of the case because that's not why I'm here. But she claims that the apartment used to belong to him and that the apartment is kind of cursed. So she's claiming that, and that she has been following the case for a very long time. So Noelle is so intrigued, like she wants to know more. So they kind of become obsessive with the case and they start talking and showing stuff from the case. And most of it are conspiracy theories. So that's where they're going to show the most, at least on the movie. And on the other hand, we have Addie, who is having some really weird behaviors. But Noelle says at some point that her behavior is because some medication that she's taking because she has some mental issues. Once again, not the right way to talk about someone, really. So at some point we have Addie with her boyfriend. Oh, really? Seriously? Are you kidding me? The light just went off. And the power is back. This is happens when you live in Puerto Rico. Now I need to turn on my ring lights. Only Puerto Ricans living on the island would understand the struggle of this. Doing work, doing anything, and sometimes powers just go off and comes back. It's frustrating. Now, returning to the point of this video, it's the film. Now, like I was saying, Addie and Greg are having sex. That's something normal, right? But she starts saying to him, like, we are on a plane, one specific plane, and she's like, I don't want to say it because I know that it's not supposed to be said on YouTube, but the F word, like I was 13. And Greg is like, whoa, hold on, I am not into that type of role, whatever. And he basically kicks her out of the apartment. It was really weird, the reality, her behavior. At some point, she's even masturbating on the middle of the street. and she's acting like really childish, and she's leading to a wall of and the doors of a building, and she's passing the fingers, and it has the initials JE, which could be Jeffrey Epstein. So it's like something like a hiding meaning or something. I'm saying maybe it's just coincidence, but at least for me, I thought it was a way of showing that Jeffrey Epstein was really all behind all of this, according to the movie. Now, Greg and Addie, they don't really break up, but definitely they are not in a good spot. And on the other hand, we have Noelle and the girl that they never really say the name of her, and engage on a romantic relationship. The girl finds on Addie's room this tarot card that has a pentagram and some stuff. She brings the card to the store, and the person that has the knowledge of it, and he's like, we don't do that type of thing here, like take that away. He's like, no, take that away. And he's basically telling them that is a really dangerous practice, dark magic, and that they need to protect themselves and leave the apartment immediately. So this is when we come to the realization, if not already, that something bad was on the apartment indeed. Betty is the one that is suffering the most, because now she has this obsession about Jeffrey Epstein. Like I said at the beginning, one of the highlights of the case of Jeffrey Epstein was the fact that people like royalty and people with power and a lot of money were involved with him. Well, in this case, Prince Andrew has been kind of accused of being involved with Jeffrey Epstein. So she becomes, like Addie becomes obsessed with him, and she starts masturbating with pictures of him. Like she starts robbing those things there. And she's in a really, really bad state. And she's obsessed with it. Like they are both obsessed, but in different ways. Because now Noelle wants to like get to the end of it, and Addie is like on another planet at this point. So basically we have them all with Jeffrey Epstein. That's like the main thing, but at the same time it's not. So by the end of the movie, Noelle kills Addie because Addie's kind of abusing the girl, because the girl, she gets to the basement where Addie it is, she pushes her and she kind of knocks out, and she's trying to abuse her, but Noelle appears and kills her. She stabs her and she leaves. And here's when things get twisted. When she gets to the apartment, the realtor from the beginning, it's on the apartment playing the piano, and she appears and she says to him, it's done. And she gets to him and like looking at him with devotion, like I did it for you, that type of behavior. And he kind of like leaves, and she's there on the apartment covered in blood. Now when the girls, she wakes up, she sees the body of Addie, and she goes to the apartment and she finds Noelle, and she's really, really upset about it. But of course Noelle is not reacting, and she basically hits Noelle on the head with a rock and kills her. So she doesn't really know what to do right now. So she starts running to where Greg works, because at some point they get there. So she goes back, and he's like, if this is kind of a prank or something, like they leave Greg's work, they go to an apartment, nothing's there, everything is clean. They go to the basement, nothing's there, like nothing happened. So Greg gets mad and leaves. So when the girl returns to the apartment, she finds an envelope that says basically that whatever happened was kind of a warning that she needs to leave the case, or it could be worse. And basically that's how it ends. So I would say that leaves to the interpretation of the viewer. And so my way of interpreting the movie, it's that they use Addie as a sacrifice, and kind of had to do with Jeffrey Epstein, but at the same time with dark magic. So I think it's a combination of both. And I think that it's a pretty weird film, the reality. Like I said, it's long. Look, it feels way longer and kind of heavier And most of the time I was like, why this is happening, why that is happening, what the hell is happening. Like seriously, it's not until the last 5 minutes that everything like, oh, this is why. So, but at the end of the day, I will give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 or a 7 out of 10. The reality is that I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought that I would. Probably someone else would have, but at least it wasn't the movie for me. Like, it's not the type of movie that I would rewatch. The reality. So for me, once was enough. But I mean, I would recommend it if you like this type of horror. If not, then it's not good for you. But well, I think that this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you watched it or what do you think about it. Did you like it? You didn't? And well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye.